Amen. 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 Thank you very much, ma. Uh, I would like to know us, and I'm giving him the pastor for the day. He has been a pastor this morning. I've been inspired. I've been inspired the way he has been changing Bible.
I'm not changing Bible. What is that? Hope you know that.
I know. I like.
We are what we are today. True acts.
Exactly. I would like to know you. I would like to know. I would like to know your name, the class you teach, area of specialization, and your best color. I think that would be interesting to start with. Your name, your class, area of specialization, maths teacher. I know some of us are class teacher, but you should have an area of specialization. Then your best color. I think with that, I can now introduce myself. Yes, ma'am. You must have today. I'll give you one, man. Yes, sir. I'll start with you. Pastor.
Yes.
Exactly.
No. Let me be humble. Let me be humble. That is humility. My name is Udeya Abiodun Joshua.
Yes, sir.
I teach English for college.
Yes, sir.
My best color is
Black.
I can see.
That's great. Neutral color. That's great. It's nice meeting you, Mr. Obi. Yes. Yes, sir. It's nice meeting you. Yes, ma'am. Can I meet you? No, you can sit down, ma'am. No.
I'm talking my boyfriend.
God bless you. You can sit down. You can sit down.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Agnes Joshua. An early year teacher. What is my best color? Your best color. My best color. I'm wearing it already. Right.
Your best color. You mentioned something, ma'am. Your best color. Black. White and black. Neutral color. It is nice meeting you. You said your name is what again, ma'am? Miss Joshua. Yes. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Can I meet you, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Caroline, what, ma'am? Ugona. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Language. Okay, ma'am. Brown. I think you just decided to. You think. Okay, you do. You don't want. No, because you see your skin color every day and your skin color is brown, you just decided to go for brown. Okay. And you see brown every day too. Your best color. It's nice meeting you, Miss Caroline. Yes, ma'am. Can I meet you, ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
I teach year 4. I love science.
Nice. Okay, ma'am.
Best color is
Oh, it's nice meeting you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
my name is Bolasha. I'm a teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Best color.
Blue. It's nice meeting you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Fatima.
Yes, ma'am.
I teach year 3 too. I like science, anything at all. Then my best color, I don't have one, but I tend to was pink.
Pink.
Yes.
Those children have already influenced you. It's nice meeting you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can I meet you?
Thanks to Babala,
Yes, ma'am.
year 5. I was with my best color.
Peach. Hmm.
Each.
She likes peach. Okay. It's nice meeting you, ma'am. Primary or LES? Yes, ma'am. Okay, year 5. Okay. Can I meet you, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Whoa. Yeah. That's good. Just send the message again so I can make it. You said your best color is ash color. It is nice meeting you, sir. Yes, sir. Can we meet you, sir? Yes, sir. Math, physics. I used to be scared of those set of people. Math, chemistry, physics. I don't know why. Why? It's nice meeting you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Can I meet you?
Me, I keep on.
Okay.
I teach essay. I'm specialized. My best color
Your best color is what, ma'am?
it's close to mine.
Okay. Close to wine. Okay, I'll go and learn about that there because I decided to ask us our best color for some reasons. Because we are going to talk about color here too. So because there are some color we mentioned that are not real, and color is classified into various groups. So we have to know about that. So can I meet you, ma? The last. Yes, ma. Ma? Red. You're hot. And you look cool. I'm not sure that you're hot. Cool. Because people yes, ma. Can we meet you, ma? Yes, ma. Yes, ma. It's nice meeting you, ma. And your best color? Green. Green is our best color. Yeah, that's why he green influencer. Thank you very much. It's nice meeting you. Let me introduce myself quickly. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Odetola Ebenezer Israel. I'm not sure you've seen my face before. You have seen me for severally.
You have to worry.
Hey, so I'm looking at myself as a stranger, and I'm not a stranger. Oh, that's nice. That means I will now be very free. I was somehow shy at the beginning, so I will now be free now. I am an artist. I'm a learning environment therapist. I decided to look for that name, learning environment therapist. Simply means that I create a kind of a welcoming learning environment for children with use of art, and also to just to make them serve as an healing powers. So healing power in form of education. And also, I teach creativity and practice, which is what we are doing today. And I'm the founder of CME called Creative Mind Education Foundation. So what we do there is a kind of a learning, continuous learning for teachers, whereby we invite scholars all over the world every week. And for this week, we are hosting. How do I put it? We normally organize a program called Stats. That is ability for us to understand the year before we actually moving into the year. And last year we could not organize the event. This year we don't know again, COVID, but we decided to make it online. So this year we are going to be hosting close to 7 speakers, and it's going to be on WhatsApp and YouTube. So everyone needs to understand the next 365 days. The concept is from a man called Olakunle Shoreyan. You can actually go and find out about that man. He organized a program called Understanding the Next 365 Days. And if you attend such program, you will feel blessed. I think let me use that word. It's not preaching, but you feel blessed. So I decided to bring it into education sector that teachers too need to understand their next 365 days as a brand, as an instructor, and also to also do some other things apart from just the normal routine. So that is all about me, and I'm also the founder of a product called Eben Cut. Eben Cut is a creativity tools that is actually meant for teachers to use to reinforce their learning in the classroom. It's just a product, a classroom decoration product. We have varieties of them, and we have a store called ebencut.com where you can actually place order, and it will be delivered to you all over the world. I will say a lot today. I have 75 slides, and I don't know. I got the information late. I prepared my slide late. I already have the slide about 10, no, about 5 years slide. So I decided to modernize it into 2021. So, and 71 slide. I know I will start like this and end it well. So today we are going to be working on the following as the outcome of this class. And as I said, the topic is art integration, and the concept is that every teacher should be creative, and every teacher should also understand that there should be a kind of activity that should be coming from the classroom apart from the art teacher teaching a lot of stuffs around. Maybe I will try my best to explain the role of the art teacher, the role of art integration, and what we call the interdisciplinary art. I will explain those three concepts, then we'll take one concept, then from there, this class will be a great one. So, first thing I'm going to be talking about is the understanding of the element of the principle of art integration. There is art integration, there is art as a subject, there is art infusion, there is interdisciplinary art. So many names. So we have to understand the one you actually want to go for. And then sometimes we mix them. I've also fallen into that victim before, where I call art infusion, art integration. I also call art integration, art infusion. But it's not bad. Learning is a continuous process. So the next thing we are going to talk about experience shared, risk taking through art integration. We are going to talk about a lot of risk taking in form of discovering, exploring, and more. And we are going to make a connection to class practice for future implementation. We are going to talk about how we can implement our art integration alongside what we teach in the classroom. And the concept of art integration is to also integrate art into all other subjects and also engage social and professionally with TIA core colleagues. Just remove the last statement and we start right away. So I'm going to start with a little introduction about art so that we can understand that art is not just a kind of subject that we think it is. Art is fun to children. Art is also for everyone, regardless of who you are. Art is for everyone. Art has traditionally been an important part of a well-rounded education. Yes, there's no how. When I actually entered the school, I was like, wow, this school is art rich. There is no parent that will actually have opportunity to actually come in here that will not enroll his or her child in this school. I'm telling you, because seeing all those display board around and then seeing those things that are actually put in place in the classroom, those things alone serve as a kind of a marketing strategy for school. So art is a kind of a subject matter that regardless of your area of specialization, regardless of what you do, you cannot actually do without it. And then art is wide. Most of us think art is drawing and painting. Art is not drawing and painting. Art is a very wide subject. I'm going to talk about the branches of art. I'm going to talk about the one we can explore and then the one we can still be learning about for a very long time. Art can engage children in terms of their mind, and it can also develop their emotion, and also it can also develop valuable cognitive, social, emotion, and multisensory skills. Simply means that this art is not just like I do tell my colleagues that it is not the product we look after. We look after the process at which some of these children use in practicing art. They acquire a lot of skills than the finishing work. If you look at the finishing work, wow, this art is nice or this art is bad. You don't look at the finishing work, you look at the process. In the process, they acquire some of those skills that I've actually stated on the board. The fine motor skills, the gross motor skills, develop their mind, develop their emotion and sensory skills. So art is fun, and art should not be neglected in the school environment. Do you think art is neglected in the school as we are looking at the school? No. But there is one part of art that is neglected in so many parts of school, which is the curriculum aspect of art. Fine, we teach art as a subject, but because I've not actually have opportunity to sit down on some tables to criticize some things, especially in the arts curriculum, so many things have actually been going on in a very, I will put it in incorrect way. They are not, which are not actually done well. Art in the primary school are not meant to be in form of teaching art as a subject. What do I mean? Art as a subject. Teaching what is art. Teaching Igboukwu art. Teaching tie and dye. Teaching, so many of those things. Those those aspects of art are meant to be from GSS 1 to SS class, where they have gates. What's the gate? The gate is WAEC and JAM to assess them towards any other places they want to actually go. The essence of art in primary school is for the children to pass through the creative process. The creative process. Now, the art is not now meant to stand alone. It's meant to serve as a driver to all other subjects. Simply means that if I'm teaching maths in the classroom, like somebody like me now, if let me use what happened. I saw a joke. Sorry, it's a joke on WhatsApp yesterday, and it was a quote. The mother was sitting, and the mother asked, "What happened to you? You are happy?" Asking the son, and the son said, my math teacher is dead. I'm happy. I was like, your math teacher is dead. You know what that boy is actually trying? There should be a kind of eightness. How will I put that in English? Hatred from that child to that math teacher. And something like that also happened to me when I was in school. When anything like maths or some of those subjects that are complex are around me, I feel somehow. Why do I feel somehow? I feel somehow because the way they explain those concepts are not towards my learning, how will I put it? My learning ability. We have different kinds of learners. We have from the kinesthetic learner, we have the visual learners, we have the auditory learners, and more. And then when you are actually teaching, you can't actually understand all your learners in just 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. It will take you years for you to understand the kind of learners some of these children actually. But there's something I observe. About 80% of humans on planet Earth are visual learners. 80% simply means that the remaining 20% can belong to maybe the special needs or some extreme human being that don't just like color or that don't just like to just see anything. There's nothing you can do about it. Visual is almost everything when we talk about instructional aid. Visual is everything when we talk about teaching in the classroom. There's no how I can communicate well without you seeing me. If you can't see me, that means you will need a kind of an extra understanding or a kind of another method for me to be able to communicate to you well. That means if you can't see again, the remaining sensory will now work harder. We have observed blind people before. Due to work harder to understand you more and more. So we are not talking about that today, but visual is a very strong instruction that we can actually take advantage of when teaching in the classroom. As a math teacher, I'm not expecting math teacher to just come into the classroom and just write notes, write it on the board, 2/2 is equal to this. And I watched a video because of this, because of COVID-19, a lot of things actually happen. We observe teachers now taking a lot of online classes. I watched one online class. It was an advertisement. They're advertising a tutorial for SS class to come to their tutor center. The man was wearing this Igbo cap, the red one. Those Igbo cap. Then after that, the way the man was talking like a comedian, when you get there, this one will take this X into 2, and then I was finding it very interesting because he was communicating in a kind of a language I understand. The way he was looking was very friendly. Some of those things also are arts. When you understand the role of art in everything we do, you understand that art has a kind of a power that can be used to get the interest of our learners towards the subject matter and the classroom. We have a very big practical, but I will need to first go through some introduction so that we can use this to prepare our mind towards the practical. Research actually shows that one of the best way to engage children in content learning is to incorporate the art. Yes, for us to make sure that we want to teach content learning, we have to incorporate the art, because students' openness to the art towards their, I'm sorry, I don't like to read, because if I'm reading, I will be thinking of reading fast, and from there I'll be skipping. Their motivation remain high, their attention span tend to be longer, and their learning increase. Yet teachers sometimes struggle with how to incorporate the arts with the maintaining of academic integrity. So what I'm actually talking about here is that there are a lot of benefits around the arts, but teachers actually find it very hard to integrate this art into the curriculum. The reason behind this is because art integration is not being taught in early years in school. If you study early childhood education in school, I went through early childhood education in school in Unilag, and it was not taught. We are not taught. The art teacher only came, okay, I'm on video. I don't like to talk about that. I'll talk about it, then I will cut it, because I will give you this video for you to also watch again and again. Art should not be taught as a subject, as I said, in form of teaching art. It should be a form of to sync with what you are teaching in the classroom. And when the art teacher came, the lecturer, to be precise, the lecturer was actually talking about, we are working on pattern and drafting. I was just like, okay, no problem. I will just sit with you, learn from anything you want to teach me, but to me, this should not be the art we should be talking about for anybody going outside there to teach in primary school. Even for primary education too, art is not being taught in a proper way. I actually went through College of Education too, and because it was through the arts department, when sometimes I would need to just go and look at what they are teaching them in primary education. I saw one of the art teacher one day, he was teaching them traditional art. They were now drumming. I was like, what is happening? Is this part of the art they are meant to be learning also? Fine. They are meant to learn entertainment, but this is not the kind of entertainment they should be working on. So many confusion. And Pablo Picasso said something. Every child is an artist. Yes, regardless of some of the things that we are thinking in our mind. I'm not good at art. I can't paint. I can't draw. There is an aspect of art that you are good at, and then you can use that aspect to develop other. Please note, you can't be good in all. As I am like this, I was once a painter. If I paint 100%, I will surely score that 9/10 or 10/10. But now, me and painting, we are like this. We are no longer friends, because I don't like painting anymore. I now have my specialization, which is to use material as instruction in the classroom or to reinforce anything in education sphere. So that does not mean that I can't paint again. I can paint, but not to the level I should be painting. I have the knowledge of painting. I have the knowledge of sculpture, but not extreme knowledge. So we can also be in that position. Have the knowledge of this, have the knowledge of that. If you are a professor, as a quote by a professor, that a professor is someone who has knowledge of everything. Simply means that if you talk about printing to a professor, printing, okay, you go to Shomolu, you will first go and do plates, then you go to one side, they will just at least little knowledge. They may not have all the knowledge, but if you are a printer yourself coming to the front of them to talk about it, you will be scared. So this person even know about, is there everything you want to know? That is what actually makes that person to be in that position. So Pablo Picasso is an artist. He said every child is an artist, but the only problem is how to stay an artist when they grow. If you see some of these children, when you give back to them, they would like to scribble with the use of crayon. They will be playing around. They will be dancing. They will be curious. Curiosity is also art. Curiosity, ability to just stand up and just look at this socket. I must touch this socket. Olakule showing yourself something that in Nigeria we beat curiosity out of them, but in abroad, they grow that curiosity. That curiosity is what invented Facebook. It's what invented everything that we have on planet Earth. I have a boy, and then each time this boy touches something, I look at, what will I do? It's curiosity, but there is, it's an inborn trait now to us. you will beat that kuru because your mother also beat you. You will also continue that beating. It will only take the grace of God for you to forget that beating. It is a very tough one. A very tough one. Curiosity should, okay, let me just use this as example. The small boy is coming here now, looking at the camera. The small boy did not know that this is a camera. Okay, he just even broke the front of my camera as yesterday. There is a glass at the front of it. Thank God that there is a glass at the front of it. If there's no glass at the front of it, it would have already broken the lens. So I was now curious that the boy did not know anything about this is a camera. The boy only know that this is an object. Let me take the object and smash it on the floor. Play with it and see what is inside. There was a day I observed the boy likes to, when the boy is sucking breast, the boy will be kicking with leg. Is this a sign of football? Footballers are now in money because some of these things are just things that's true. The moment some of these people observe some of these things that we are thinking is joke, they take them to academy immediately. They take them to so many places, and then we have some father even in Africa. They were talking about Mbappe. Go and search about this guy called Mbappe playing for France right now. I was told the father took this boy to Senegal to play for Senegal. That means that father already saw potential in Mbappe. They paid a lot of money, in Nigeria for you to play with national team. How to pay money? Pay for you to play national team. Why the boy played for Senegal national team for some months, then left to France when they were not doing the guy well. Now the guy is now writing on social media, I am not from Senegal, I am from France. He said why? He said he paid money to play for his country. That because of that, he's not going to claim he's from that country anymore. A lot of factors actually contradicting and making things not going well in terms of development in the world we belong to. But study have also showed that when young people participate regularly in the arts, at least 3 hours a day on 3 days a week, each week, through a full year, they may be 4 times to be recognized in academic achievements than their peer group. Or let me use this as an example. There is no how. As I said, the art is wide. When I use the word participating in the arts 3 times in a week, that does not mean the child will be participating in drawing. It can be drawing, painting, music. It can be drawing, drama, music. It can be drawing, taekwondo. It can just be any form of art that involve their mind, that involve their body, and also that involve anything that can turn to visual, or that can actually develop their mind. So some of these things, you will observe them. There is a twins I have in my school. I work for part-time, and these twins are they are rounded. When they are calling a word, out of 10, they will collect about 6. So what are you, the rest of the children, what are you looking? I'm also part of them. When I was in school, I was not that good, but I tried to find out what made me not to actually be like some of these ones. They don't have 2 heads now. I observed a lot of things about it, and it was another thing I will still talk about. So these children tend to actually collect almost all their word. Why? In arts, when they want to draw in arts, when others are drawing for 30 minutes, they will tell me that, yes sir, I'm not done. Can you please leave my work? I will come during the break and come and finish my art. They will come back again, take their time, and still finish this artwork. And I was like, what exactly is the problem? I observed something about them. They are very calm. Creative people are calm people. You will have your say, they will have their way. You know what I mean of that? You will tell them so many things, they will do it. Have you heard this song before? I do it my way. Very good. To be sincere, I just love these children. And then there's another one in the junior class too. Very curious too. Small boy, small girl. Year 3 receive almost 90% of all their awards in the whole of the school. So and I still observe in arts also. This girl, she's still good in art. So what's the problem? The girl is good in art, and the girl is also good in all other subjects. That simply means that there's something apart from family. So far, I'm still trying to find out if you are good in so many things and you are good in arts, what reinforce that being good in all round. That means for art to be part of it, art is also part of the skill that made you to be good in all those subjects. So, and remember, mathematics is also important, and I will talk more about this. Our job as a teacher, this is a quote I actually sent online, I think yesterday, and it is a quote I've been sending online almost every year. And if I see that quote again, I will recopy it and send it online again. And this year, the quote now form another thing because of after COVID. The quote form another thing. I was like, this quote is now making another sense. Our job is to create an education system that is better than the one we grow up in. Barrister Taiwo Akinlami actually go against my quotes, and he said something which I'm actually fine about, which is from the angle of child safety. That there are some aspects that we as educators that we are still missing. The emotion of a child, especially from the saga that we are just the boy from the Deeper Life High School. The mother was not meant to actually publish the boy's picture, and a lot of contradiction. Because I belong to Deeper Life does not mean I should not talk about that thing. The boy, I'm even expecting Tola or whatever, the two boys, their face will be published, but because they are minor, we have to just do, a very big topic also to talk about. But please note, the way we are being educated should not be the way we are educating these children. When I was in school, when my Yoruba teacher is coming, my defense of my school is just around this side. I will put one hand on it and I will jump out of the classroom. I'm curious, why was I displaying that kind of character? I'm displaying that kind of character because the way my Yoruba teacher will talk to me, or the way my Yoruba teacher teaches in the classroom, is not the way I feel to be educated. When you come into the classroom, you first look at me like this, Ayagarawa, because I draw a lot on the board. I went to that school after about 5 years. I saw a lot of my drawing on the wall. I was still saying there, this is my displaying of my creativity. I call them creativity because I was crazy at that time. You need to see my school uniform at that time. My school uniform, I wear TM to school. And at the back of my school uniform, my name was written boldly. I said my name is Odetola, but I wrote there, Ode Hunter. But I did not know another name for that Ode was what? Is what? Don't say it now. I think you say it in lower voice. I was thinking you use lower voice. And then the funniest part of it is that I will walk like from here to Lekki Toll Gate to my school. And then thinking everything was all right. And then I'll be like, everything is fine. Following people all about, they will go and fight in area. Every Friday we go to Katangwa to go and meet one man called Champion. So the man is just to roam around and then give everybody blue, some champion. You pay money if you are coming to the market to buy something. We are following the guy as if we are learning how to become like the guy. Thank God I left that environment to Unilag Staff School to come and work. And then when I found myself there, I saw my peer group driving car. 17 years driving car. Hey, there's problem. I saw my mates wearing nice clothes. So it dawned on me that, oh boy, this is not how life is designed. So some of these things also, there are so many factors around it. Environmental factor. What you see is what you become. The way you transform your classroom is the way the children will perceive your classroom. If you arrange your classroom upside down, they will perceive your classroom upside down. If you even teach upside down, the children will not even be organized. So there are so many of those things. You don't need to teach the way we have been taught. So everything has to change from the way we have been taught to the new normal. We are in the new normal, and new normal is just English to me. We need to define the new normal we are talking about. Define it personal. Define it as a school. Define it as a brand, and also define it as a goal towards anything that you want to achieve in the nearest future. I'd like to talk about progressive education before I move on. Progressive education is a very big term from the 80s, where you read about the lives of trying to remember some of these theories. Let me look for anyone. Can you please remind me any theorist? Theorist. No, let me talk about the angle of the theories I'm talking about. Educational psychology. So we have all the theories. What's it called? Jane what? Jane Piaget. Is that Piaget? I don't know how to pronounce. Is Piaget. That is the person that actually found this type of education called progressive education. So progressive education, let me just summarize what is called progressive education. And then progressive education also is linked towards arts integration. It's linked towards art integration. That is why I just want to talk about little of it, then I move back to art integration. Progressive education is essentially a view of education that emphasizes the need to learn by doing. And you know, Jane Piaget talk about a lot of doing. He emphasized that children need to learn by doing. And then LES also. LES are still practicing that. And the Maria Montessori also emphasized that too. But when they get to year 5, year 6, year 4, we tend more to talk about academics. We tend more to talk about content, but rather than for them to practicalize it. That is why you will see, like a mentor of mine said, he went to a university and he was asking them, how do a plane fly? And they are mathematics students. And they were looking. They are just maths students, but they are not the student that practicalize what? Maths. Pythagoras theorem makes a plane to fly, but they don't understand. They only understand what? Mathematics. 2 raised to power 2 is equal to 5, and they're using it to sing. They can even use it to rap, you know. So he was emphasizing that children need to learn by what? By doing. Anything that I actually practicalize in the classroom. If it is even literature, I can come to the front of the classroom, talk about it, demonstrate, and some of those things can also add to how others will understand this concept, or how we also understand the concept. Pragmatic believe that reality must be experienced. Yes, we all believe that reality must be experienced. If you talk about something real and you thought, okay, maybe as I'm talking about art integration like this, and we did not practicalize it, what do you think I'm doing? I'm just a theorist. I'm practicalizing everything. I'm talking about it, and we did not put everything into practice. That means there's something wrong. So reality must be experienced. Anything we talk about must be experienced. It can be experienced through displaying them on the board, when working on it, through creating something that they can see, and see that some of those things are real in the classroom. And it is also a pedagogical movement that value experience over learning. It is a what? It is a pedagogical movement that value experience over learning. And I so much believe in that experience should be valued over learning. Yes, children should experience those things. They should experience them in practical, and they should also experience them in form of free trip. And then there's one thing I removed in my slide, that children should not just learn by just sitting in the classroom from the beginning of the term to the end of the term. Please note, we can bring in that theory back into the classroom. Those theories are from the 80s. Simply means that I can just decided that for my week 1 to week 8, out of my week 1 to week 8, we can decide to go to the middle of the school, the field, for just one subject. There was a time I worked with one of my colleagues in Finland, and he was telling me that this week they are going to be busy. They are having national exam. It was maths. So I said, okay, I'm curious that you send me the picture of how the children, just the picture. I said you should just take it so that the examiner will not know or whatever. He said no, that you can take it just anyhow, okay, no problem. I saw the children on the floor with measurement tape. I said, are they writing exam? He said, yes, they are writing exam. I was now thinking about Nigeria. In Nigeria, it is not only we will sit down in social distance. That one is fine. We will now sit down like in this class. 1 will be here, 6 will be here, 4. You know that is the new system now. We will now mix them. Do you know in Japan, there was a time I read a quote in Japan that you can ask from your colleague the answer if you don't know. I like the way you are laughing. You know, that is not, you know what they are doing now in Nigeria? Examination malpractice in JAMB. I think JAMB or WAEC, that we are going to carry over the next one. That means you will not, they are about to approve it. And they may approve it. That you won't be allowed to write the next exam. Do you know what will happen? The children will now be curious. They will now go to where? Sabo, or anywhere that they are signed, that they can get affidavits. They will change their name immediately. That they are. That means we are making them to be curious in another form again, because they will be curious that they must go to school. The day I actually observe that examination malpractice, the children should not be expelled from school because of examination malpractice, was when one of my colleagues was expelled from school, and then till now the guy is not normal. Year 2 going to year 3, expelled from school. When you see the guy, just be like, very, very hijacked guy. The guy is now affected emotionally. So there should be another. I think now they don't really expel again. They can give you 2 years extra, and that one is fine. 2 years extra. The day I find myself in that trouble was when Bami pass saying, don't mean Bami pass saying, I pass. External supervisor come enter. I find myself in big trouble. External supervisor, you know the subject, very simple subject, guidance and counseling, objective, you know, A to, it's not even A to E, it is A to D, just for you to just pick A, B, C, D, just 4. If you even do Ọlọ́run sọ pé kí n mú yìí, you will see the answer, because it's not to E. You know, it was a very big mess. That was when because I experienced it. Thank God my name was not displayed on the with the what's it called, with the board. You know, that one, they will just, you come, there will be camera left and right, and then you wear gown immediately. You know, but I observed something on my GP. From 3.9 I found myself in 2.1 NCE. All is well, but that one is still fine too than expelling. But I think if we design another form of education, the children, because, okay, I will still display that. I mean, this is it. The children are going to graduate out of school. And when they graduate out of school, okay, when you are in school, sir, when you are in school, ma, when we are all in school, we were after our CGPA. Please don't lie.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You protect it like anything. Like my wife, when she's going for exam, you can't talk to her, even as the boyfriend. You can't say, hello Titi, how you doing? Lie. She will not answer you, because she has already what? And she wants to go and base up. And she used that to score her 4.3. From 4.7 drop to 4.3. Just like Agberu base up. Nice one. Use that. But there was a guy who asked her, how far now? Can you list all the stages of a child? Developmental stages of a child. Infant, 0 to, I can't remember. I said, no problem. You only went there to go and what? Cram and what and pour. And then, you know, and then another thing, she was after protecting her CGPA. And by the time we graduate out of school, when you have been employed into this school, what was the first thing they said you must do? Teamwork, collaboration. Is there collaboration when we are still in school? When we are in school? When we are in school, there was no collaboration. We were after our CGPA. Then when we move out of school, we were meant to now come and collaborate. It can't work. I'm not being trained to collaborate. You now want me to come and collaborate. That is how you will find out in so many organizations there is a lot of politics. Because if you have 50 above staff, there's no how you do it. You now have different group, because those groups will find themselves, okay, I want more, you know, it's just a very big thing that we need to consider and use those things to design a lot of education. Critical thinking, teamwork are required from a lot of organizations. So some of these things, fine. Critical thinking, we get that through our academics, but this teamwork, very important. I think is one of the number one requirement for now, that collaboration must be enhanced in the school environment. There was a time I was assessed by one external supervisor, and they want to come and assess my classroom. say, hey, I want to come and access my classroom. I change the method. I tell children what we are doing today. I'm going to group us into 4. So we are doing clay work. I group them into 4. I brought clay, dropped clay in their middle, and they started to do coiling, and they started molding. And she asked me after the class, she said, did you know what is in my book before your class? I said, no, I just decided to work on another method today. She said the major requirement for that day was to come and assess collaboration. I said, thank God. It is not all about individuality anymore. It is all about collaboration. I did not read everything I have on that slide, but because I need to move on. As a teacher, we need to understand that our world continues to advance and become more connected and interwoven through innovation and technology. Students need practical skills to be globally relevant. Practical skills. Arts enhance robotic. Arts enhance Lego, because it is from art they move to Lego. From Lego they move to what? To robotic. From robotic they move to anyone that involves software and more. So some of these things is just a foundation. The foundation, and the foundation, if the foundation is bad, there's no how you can do it. What is going to be on the top is not going to be solid. So today, let's now understand about art, and I'm very happy that our art teacher is also here with us. And with that opportunity, let me quickly talk about art now. This is introduction. I'm done with the introduction now, and I want to move to the major content, which is to explore 2 major areas: to explore art and to explore art integration. So the first thing on my slide, I have what exactly is art. What is art? Art is a universal language of self-expression of a child in his culture and natural environment through the use of tools and equipment. Very simple definition, that art is the use of tools to express myself in my words, in my environment. Simply means that with this concept, we can use this concept to integrate the art into the curriculum. By what? By providing tools and materials for children to express themselves through a topic, through a theme, and more. And those topic and theme can come from different areas in the classroom. So let's talk about the areas of art, because this is very important. If you don't understand the areas of art, you may not actually know which one to explore. There are different areas of art, and then we also call it the branches of art. The art itself is now divided into 2, but the one I'm going to emphasize more today is the visual art. When we talk about visual art, we are talking about the art that we can we can see. And then when we talk about those art, we have them in 2 also. We have them as fine art and we have them as applied art. What is fine art? Fine art is called the aesthetics art, art of beautification, the art that we can use to enhance an object or to enhance a building. An example of fine art is some of these this blue painting and this white painting is an example of fine art, because this is used to beautify this environment. Now, we also have another form of art called applied art. This applied art, we can use it to beautify, and we can also use it as a functional art. Simply means that this table can be classified as a functional art. Yes or no? Yes, this table is a functional art. It is an art and also serve as a functional object. So let me go back to fine art. Under fine art, we have drawing, we have painting, and we have sculpture. What's drawing? Drawing is the art of using different tools to draw, to represent an object. While painting also requires the use of pigment, anything like color and any other materials to represent an object. And sculpture involves molding, anything like clay, anything like plasticine, and the remaining materials to build an object in 3-dimensional, and it may not even be in 3-dimensional. So we have the next one, fine art. What are fine art? Graphic skill is another big skill right now. I won't lie to you. Are you good in graphics? No. If you are not good in graphics, I have a video for you on YouTube on how to use Canva Design. Canva Design is an online tool. It is very simple to use. You can download it on Play Store, Canva on Play Store, and you can use it on your web, canva.com. I have 50 videos on my YouTube, or Detola Ebenezer Israel, how to use Canva. Everybody needs to know how to use Canva. And for now, in some schools, art teacher now, like this, I have the video. I also have the video. I do art every Sunday, every Saturdays on YouTube for children. If you check one of my art, I was teaching the children how to use Microsoft. I was teaching the children how to use Microsoft Paint. That means that digital tools is also part of the thing that they should be exploring right away. And textile design, textile creating batik, like the clothes is wearing, tan, dye, and a lot of more. Children like to see some of those things. And the photography and craft. So these are the art we are going to explore today. While we move to the next one, we have the non-visual art, which is also being practiced as another subject in our school. We have music teacher, we have dance teacher. They are also another form of art. And even comedy is even part of it. Those comedians you see, they are also classified as an artist. And music is also part of it, as I said. And then we have the literary art, which consists of, this comedy should be here, which consists of poetry, folklore, journalism, and others. So these are the branches of art, but these are the one we are going to explore. We are going to be exploring the visual art for today. So before we explore visual art, what I said I'm going to talk about this, that what are the areas of art we need to understand in the school, or what are the arts that exist in the school. Number one, we have the arts as a curriculum, which I actually spoke about in the morning before I spoke about at the beginning of this class, that art as a curriculum, teaching of art, like what is art, teaching of art like Igboukwu art and more. Then we have art as art enhanced curriculum. Art enhanced curriculum simply means that maybe in the classroom we just want to let me use a subject like fraction. Now we want to teach fraction in the classroom, and I use the fraction. I decided to bring the circle fraction, cut it into pieces. We are going to practicalize that, and we use art to enhance that fraction. But our major aim is to make sure that they understand what fraction. Then the last one is art integration. The art integration now talks about we want to achieve fraction and we want to achieve art. So we want to make sure that in those two areas they develop the two skills. They develop skills of art, and they also develop the skill of what? Of math. So with this, let's talk about art integration. What exactly is art integration? This is why I am here. Art integration, also known as art infusion. But if you infuse, it's in another area. But more content is on art integration. So what exactly is art integration? Art integration is an approach to teaching in which children construct and demonstrate understanding through an art form. Let me read again, because after this slide is practical. I will take my time on this. Art integration is an approach to teaching. That means it's a teaching methodology in which students construct and demonstrate understanding through art. Simply means that students practicalize a subject through what? Through art. Students engage in a creative process. Creative process can involve doing, it can involve demonstration, which connects an art form and another subject area to meet involving objective in both. Involving objective, we achieve maths objective and we achieve what? Art objective. As that fraction example. That means that if I am teaching maths, I achieve maths. But there is art in the practical of that subject. By the time I'm teaching the practical, I am achieving two objectives at the same time. The children are developing the skills of what? Of art, and they are also understanding the math concept. In a similar term, art integration is a strategy for teaching and learning that uses art as a primary pathway to learning. Art integration. A very simple concept to use, and I won't use the word is stressful. It is not compulsory you integrate to all subjects. And let me see whether I have another thing. Next slide. Okay. It is not compulsory you integrate into all subjects. I only advise 4 major subjects for integration. Number 1, math, English, science, and social study. In social study, we have a lot of subjects to integrate. In science, everything in science is integration. Because there's no how you want to do it. Everything in science is art. In math itself, about 80% of math, before going into the major one that you need to be working on the board, you can use the introduction as what? As an activity that you can integrate the art into. Then literature, English language. English language also, there are so many concepts, about 50%, but I will tell you, you can use your creativity to make it 80%. I will tell you the 50% I know, then the remaining, you can actually move on. Before I move to this practical, can we go on a short break, 10 minutes, to just breathe in and breathe out. Then we'll be right back. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.